All right, now the daily, it's hard to really see the pattern. You really have to go down to like for the 2 hour. Here, you can really see how it flattens out. Again, if we come back to the beginning of the year, this does flatten out. We do have a trading range. We have a very familiar pattern, right? So if we go back, right? I mean, it's almost identical. So are we now about to climb out? All right, and if we zoom in here, we get this pattern, right? So we're moving around 40 to 38, find support around 38, slowly rise up, and then boom, shoot out, and then it's off to the races from there. So could we be seeing that same pattern way over here, right? We drop down, coming out, we're starting to establish that base here, right? The stronger the base, the more we pull back, the greater the run can be. We're building that potential energy. If we put the chart layers back on here, it's a little crazy. Let's go to the 1 hour. All right. So what we want to see is as much sideways action with 38 becoming the support. I think if we break through, fall through the ice, then we risk hitting 36. The risk at 36.1, falling below that, then we see 30. If we go below really like 29, 28.2 to 29.2, then we could see 24. But it does look like we're getting that support at 38. So if this continues, I would not be surprised if it creeps up and then we get to the top of the zone. As soon as we get close to it, then we just rockets up. So first hurdle, first thing we want to see is establish a base here around 38.2. After we get the base, we want to, on some volume, so this will be our last point of support, on some volume, want to see our SOS. Then we're going to look to break out above the trading range again. I can draw that. And then have our exit. If, however, it falls through the ice here, right, it falls down, what we could see is 36.1 becomes the new stop. Then we could still continue this and then come back up, but of course it'll lengthen this cycle, right? It's going to take longer to do that. And there's also some more downside risk to then test, and that's really where that other schematic that I was looking at comes in, because that becomes then a guide for the next move. So far it's been following the other schematics that I looked at, but now Now we're in a position where it could go to the other one, although I don't really have the odds to I don't really give that great odds, and the reason for that is simple. Let me show you. In that schematic, there really isn't a spring. Now this technically could have acted as a spring. If it turns out it's not a spring, then it's possible that this other schematic here could play out. Although, you know, for each phase, it seems to pass the test. So, you know, again, this is the tricky part. Trying to use the chart, price and volume, and predict what they're going to do. Now, again, all outcomes, all the outcomes eventually lead to price going up. The only question that I'm left asking is, you know, am I pushing in here? Do I do it from here? And if not these places, somewhere lower. As of this point, though, we have come down from 41. We're down to 38, 2. So what's that, 3,000? If we go down another 3,000, we're at 35. If we look at where 35 was, right? This is what started that climb. Talked about this idea of a 50% retracement, right? So 50% coming down is right about here. So there's some degree of comfort buying in here. I've started pushing up my orders. I guess I'm gonna have to put in you know, next week's dollar cost average this week if I'm wrong. But you know, so far we are seeing the targets and price following the expectation. So I'm still ignoring the news. I'm just looking at the chart, trying to see what the market makers are doing, and then feeling good about it.